Rabbi Meir says the following. This is the scariest out of all the chidushim that I have. Rabbi Meir Baal says this. He was a talented sofer. He was a scribe. It's Sifrei Torah. And the Gemara says he used to make 3 selah per week. So let's say you call it $3,000 a week, or $300 a week, whatever you want to call it. 3 selah is a unit of money in those days. 3 selah a week. 1 selah he would use for himself to eat and drink. 1 selah he would use for shelter. House. Wife, house. And 1 selah, the last third, he would give to Avrechim. People learn Torah all day. Now the Avrechim came to him and said, Kvod Harav, what will be with your kids? You have kids. Why don't you give 1 selah for food and for you and your wife, no problem. 1 selah for shelter, no problem. But what about your kids? You have kids. Why don't you give them the last selah? Why are you giving it to us, Avrechim? It's a very normal question. Most people, you tell them, you give maaser, you give tzedakah. He goes, I give money to my kids. That's not maaser, by the way. I give money to my kids. Everybody thinks they give money to their kids. It's maaser. It's tzedakah. It's not tzedakah. You're obligated. Until a certain age. Until they can provide for themselves. But anyway, they ask Rabbi Meir, they say, Kvod Harav, even though they're already at the age where they can sustain themselves, but still, if you have extra, why don't you give it to your kids instead of giving it to the Avrechim, giving it to us? So Rabbi Meir Baal says the following. He says, if they're tzaddikim, then the verse that we say in Birkat HaMazon, at the end of Birkat HaMazon, David HaMelech wrote, Na ra'iti gam zakanti v'lo ra'iti tzdik ne'ezav, v'zarov v'vakes lachem. I've been young, I've been old, and I've never seen a righteous person, begging, or his kids not having any food. So many words. If they're tzaddikim, Hashem will sustain them. But if they're not, why should I use my money to fund the enemies of God? Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. If they're tzaddikim, Hashem will provide for them. I don't need to give them any money. Hashem will provide for them. If they're reshayim, if they're not tzaddikim, why would I give money to the enemies of God? That's his words. Oivei amakum. So he says, Midrash Rabbah. That's Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. So you see here, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes tells us things that are extraordinary. Things that we can live by, things that we can learn when people have all the excuses in the world not to learn Torah.